June. Okay, record is in progress. So, welcome, Hare Krishna, to our continued reading of the Sankalpa Kaumudi, otherwise known as the Moonbeam of Determination. And we're on chapter 7. There's 8 parts in this book. And we're on part 7, which is entitled Sankalpa for Chanting with Emotion. So, chapter 33 we have read, which is the Sankalpa of Bhava Seva. And now we're reading chapter 34, which is Gauranga and vipralambha Seva. So, vipralambha means separation from the Lord, and Sambhoga means to meet Lord. A very important and deep aspect of our Vaishnava philosophy. So, it's really good we're reading and studying this. And then the final chapter in this part is called The Perfection of Separation. I think it's going to look at the Lord's associates, like the gopis, etc. So, Mother Chandravali has the book. If anyone else has the book, I don't think so. We're on page 678. And let's say some prayers to Srila Prabhupada. I haven't, just digressing a little bit, I haven't, Rajika Shaw hasn't tuned in lately. Is everything okay with her?
Yeah, she's in India at the moment.
Oh, okay.
She's going to try and join from there.
Good luck in it.
For a few months.
Okay, no problem. This
know.
is okay. Yeah, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nivasisha Shunyavadi Pashtatara Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, page 678. I guess I could begin reading a little bit. Okay. Everyone's ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to be hearing a little bit about the Shashastaka and its relevance to the subject of Vipralambha Bhav. So let's read. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sole written instruction to the world is contained in his Shikashtaka. These 8 verses are named teachings, but they are actually teachings on Nam Bhajan. Okay. So remember we've spoken quite a bit about that. So each of the verses encapsulate a different level of achievement in Nam Bhajan. Okay. The introductory verse describes the 7 perfections of Nam Sankirtan. And the next verse, the unfortunate condition of the people of this age. Nam Namakara Bahodani Shava Shaktisya. The 3rd verse, what's the 3rd verse? Someone can tell us quickly. Yes, the 3rd verse sets out the primary qualification for steady sadhana. So humility, the primary qualification, which is humility. The 4th verse, Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim, expresses the natural detachment of one who has a taste for chanting. The 5th of a devotee attached to Krishna. What's the 5th verse? Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim.
Is that one?
Nakshena Chakshu Sunyayatam Sanyayatam Tagatsavam Govinda Veniname. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation. I can about 12 years or more. Forgot that right. Yeah. Praying for admittance into ecstatic. The 6th verse describes the external symptoms of the fortunate Vaishnava who has attained bhava and is hankering after prema. Okay, what's that verse? Nayanam asudharya vadanam gat urudai gira lakka nichitam babu tabaganama bharishyate. When my eyes be shedding torrents of tears and feeling all vacant. Yeah. While the 7th and 8th verses Seventh verse is
Yugayitam
Tam Nishena Chakshushtam Tayatam Sanyayatam Tikatsavam. Yes, Lavanga. Lavita, yes. And Aslishyava Padarana Papanistomam, the 8th verse. Okay. The reader will find Appendix 7, the 8 verses of Shishastaka, useful to refer to while reading this chapter. Okay, you don't have it, I have it, but you have it. I'm sure you'll know this Shishastaka. Bhaktivinoda Thakur instructs us that the devotees Nam Bhajan should follow the guidance of the verses of Shishastaka. By such smaran, a devotee will eventually awaken all transcendental truths, free himself from all impiety, and perceive the eightfold pastimes enacted within his purified heart. Srila Prabhupada would regularly cite the 7th verse of Shishastaka as the example of what chanting in separation was all about. Another verse that Srila Prabhupada was fond of quoting as an example of vipralambha bhajan was the 8th verse of Srinivasacharya's Sat Goswami Ashtaka. We shall briefly review both verses, beginning with the one spoken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yugayatam naneshena chakshusha pravashayatam sanyayatam jagatsavam govinda veranenehene. My Lord Govinda, my Lord Govinda, because of separation from you, I consider the moment to be a great millennium. Tears flow from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. Unquote. On a morning walk in Bombay, Srila Prabhupada called this verse in the mood of chanting. It inspires to be the summit of Krishna Bhajan. Quote, this is the summit of Bhajan. When one will be crying and there will be torrents of tears, one will see everything as vacant for being separated from Govinda. That is the topmost summit of Krishna Bhajan. Unquote. Srila Prabhupada, like his spiritual master, was emphatic that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's path to perfection for the common person was learning to feel separation from Krishna. That was what the Lord had descended to teach, and that lesson is clearly expressed in the words Yugayatam Nanashena and Sunyayatam Jagatsavam. So this is what Lord Chaitanya came to teach. Remember, I think we was mentioning that last week, yeah? He's come to teach, or he's come to give Krishna prema, but specifically the mood by which one practices bhakti or devotion that Lord Chaitanya showed by personal example and is therefore teaching us, is in the mood of separation, yeah? This is the standard of feeling separation. Every second, every blink of the eye that separates one from Krishna appears like an age, and the universe teeming with life, crowded with stars and planets, yet without him is like a Buddhist void. The gopis actually felt like that, and so they criticized Brahma for creating eyelids that blinked. We all know of that, isn't it? It's often mentioned in classes. Blinked and obstructed them from seeing Krishna. The gopis said, quote, "O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day and we do not see your sweet face, which is surrounded by beautiful curling hair, half a second becomes as long as an entire age for us. And we consider the Creator who has put eyelids on the eyes we use for seeing you to be simply a fool." Yeah, and they're serious. They're not just speaking poetically. For them, they're feeling there's a certain name of prema, which forget, there's different levels of prema, and there's a word that encapsulates. It means when one cannot bear 1 second of being separated from Krishna. I think it's called pranaya. Yeah. mood, that pranaya, where even a second away from Krishna causes great transcendental anxiety. Okay. Unquote from that verse. The sadhana in which a devotee attempts to see Krishna and the one which he cries after Krishna are both valid. However, the path of a sambhoga is for a very rare and qualified sadhaka, whereas the path of vipralambha is for the common person, and thus it is both faster and more assured. Okay. One may compare the two to the processes of self-realization through either meditation or through sankirtan. Both are possible. But who has the purity of mind or the lifespan to meditate for thousands of years? Remember our readings of Brihat Bhagavatamrita and that quite lengthy discussion of the four Kumaras on the planets of the sages, where they perfected the art of smaranam, or meditation. Remember that, and they're glorifying meditation as being able to fix the mind upon one's worshipful Lord. Yeah. And then eventually what comes to light is the superiority of Nam Sankirtan. But can you remember that discussion, part of that? Yeah. So it seems like there are some Vaishnavas and that's their path, that's their sadhana, where they meditate upon Krishna. They meditate upon Krishna in such that they are with him. It seems like, yeah, that's called sambhoga. But both are possible, but one who has the purity of mind or the lifespan to meditate, but who? Yeah, that meditation is, it takes it takes a long time to come to a state of perfection like that. Any comments, questions, please feel free to ask.
I was thinking on this separation. Are we feeling separation? Like, see, we do service at the temple, right? So we have Radhaland and Ishwar. So do you feel separation from them when you're not doing service? Or when you're chanting, you remember? Or are you supposed to be feeling separation from Goloka Vrindavan, like being back home? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, that's often a question that comes up. Okay, we mean like we're worshipping deities and Radha Krishna is in front of us. So therefore, surely that is sambhoga, that's being with Krishna. In one sense, yes, but in another sense, no. In a sense, yes, from our specific condition, sadhaka stage, we're taking darshan of the deities, and in one sense, they're non-different. But who has that complete realization? So in one sense, they're present, but in another sense, they are manifesting as deities. So one is not actually engaged. Especially for sadhaka, one is not, they are presenting, or they are like, what you can say is like the temple is like a embassy of the spiritual world. So it's showing us the way forward. It's showing us the spiritual world. It's showing us Radha Krishna. And for the very advanced devotee, then no doubt they can have exchanges with Krishna. But still, we're in the body, in a material body. Still, we don't know what is our specific relationship with Krishna. So still we have there's still a lot to attain. There's a lot to hanker for. Yeah. We're just taking darshan, but what is our service, how can we serve the divine couple? So anyway, any other comments on that? It's
Prabhu, can I just, I don't know, this is what
yeah, please.
I was thinking, this is just like George Harrison's song, just
Yeah,
longing.
mentioned last week, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. I feel this is a separation that we have to feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point you're bringing out, Nitai Mother, because actually we are being instructed to and shown to feel separation from Krishna. Yeah. As in that song exemplifies by George Harrison. So that's our mood. So Lord Chaitanya would also feel obviously great ecstatic or great separation from Krishna, specifically. But then when he would go to the temple of Jagannath, those feelings of separation would be somewhat, because he would feel he would be seeing Krishna. So
also, Prabhu,
one second, he would feel like pacified, but it was an ocean. Sometimes he would be meditating upon Krishna being present, and then often, but most times, Krishna would not be present. So we can, from another perspective, we can enter into the realm to like some degree. When we come to the temple, we can look at Radha Krishna and we can take darshan. So in one sense, we're meeting. But then we have to go about our duties and then we forget Krishna, isn't it? Yeah. Then next time we come to the temple. And then if we can't come to the temple, we can feel a bit undone. You know, it may not be the heights of great ecstatic vipralambha bhav, but still we can feel a sense of a certain need, I want to go to the temple to actually see Krishna. And I can't wait to get to the temple to see Krishna or to serve Krishna. So thank you for bringing this out, Nitai Mother. So in that sense, we are experiencing, at least to some degree, the emotions of separation and meeting. It's quite a deep subject, of course, because as I mentioned, even in seeing the deity, it's like they are non-different, but at the same time, they are showing the spiritual world, but we have yet to get there.
I just wanted to share this one.
Please,
Sachinandana Swami, in fact, I put this in the group also because you spoke about it last week. It says, vipralambha chanting on the mood of longing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu longings. Can I read that little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks this verse with apparent distress. He laments and feels wretched. He wishes to say, I can't go on like this any longer. Without love of Godhead, my life is useless. Therefore, I pray to you, Krishna, please accept me as your servant and give me as a salary aesthetic love for you. I do not want anything monetary. I just want a tiny compensation for my efforts to serve you. Please give me just a fraction of that prema dana, the wealth of aesthetic love. I am on the brink of death. Please give me some to maintain my life. The verses of the Sikshastika prayer born from the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are highly beneficial for those who desire to chant with vipralambha. Hearing them imbibes the heart with devotional feelings of longing. Dear Lord, please help me to chant with feelings of longing and to go deeper and deeper. Please help me to be attentive and become free from offenses.
Yeah, thank you. Is that written by Sachinanda Maharaj or is he quoting Bhaktivinoda Thakur?
It is in the book, The Living Name. I'm sure he is quoting chapter 4 of Guiding to Chanting with Absorption, Maharajas.
Okay. Nice. So on the same lines then. Maharaj is saying this. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. And sometimes I'm sure we experience in our practice of sadhana, sometimes we're chanting and sometimes we're just feel just disconnected to Krishna? Anyone experience that?
Yeah, just want to finish the rounds.
Yeah, you're not feeling perhaps, you feel you have to do something more. You have to readjust yourself in order to be able to really connect in a deep way to the holy name. So in that sense, you're feeling a sense of separation.
So, on that point that you said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling separation, and then when he goes to take darshan of Jagannath.
Yeah, that's what we read, isn't it?
Yeah. So isn't it the same thing that you chanting, you feeling separation, you see Krishna, Radharani and Ishwar, or do service, it's Krishna.
Yeah, so same. So it's good to recognize that we are as sadhakas even we are feeling, and we are going through sometimes feeling separation from Krishna. Yeah, and that's good. Yeah. And we have to cultivate that, and we have to chant in that mood as well. That's what's coming out here. Yeah. So this is our path. Our path is to aspire and to desire Krishna. Yeah. Right. If you read a bit more. Okay. Where was we?
I don't even know where we were.
One may compare the two to the process of and yet we see even today that immature and unqualified pseudo devotees futilely follow the sadhana of sambhoga. Interesting. I don't know if Maharaj is speaking within the context of ISKCON, or perhaps he's speaking in a context of the wider Vaishnava society, First time I've really heard of that there is devotees who follow the path of sambhoga. Because they are like baby monkey hanging on its mother's neck. Such foolish devotees fall from the path due to its difficulty. They do not advance in bhakti, nor do they enjoy golden shelter, and so they become victimized by sex life, intoxication. Okay, this must be some upper sampradaya, and other wanton ways, and yet some foolish neophytes still continue to follow this dead-end road to spiritual destruction. In general, these practitioners are grouped into the category of sahajiyas, or those who have rejected the authorized siddha in exchange for a cheap sadhana concocted by tiny minds. Indeed, our acharyas considered all sadhanas that do not follow the process of vipralambha seva to be adverse to the process of pure devotional service. Those who take up such paths are not followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so Maharaj mentions here those who rejected the authorized siddha. So we all know what siddha is.
Yes, your eternal identity.
Yeah, you'll learn the Vaishnavas here. We've been studying and we looked at this. Yeah, so that's not so serviceable or practiced today. Siddha. It's there in you can find it in Harinam Chintamani. It's there where the Guru gives you your spiritual identity. He gives you the attributes, your dress and your mood. Then you meditate upon that. Yeah. So in other words, you get the prayojan without doing the sambandha. Yeah. But anyway, without getting too off the path, the path of perfection is, our path of siddha is to chant in the mood of vipralambha. Yeah, that's how we're going to attain siddha. That's how we're going to attain perfection. It's not by this artificial stamp. This is, as far as I can make out, this is what Maharaj is saying. This mood is our path, is our siddha. This chanting in the mood of separation. Any other questions? No. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, I'll just read one more page, a little bit more. In the course of the Mahaprabhu's pastimes, his associates never assisted him in conjugal affairs. So again, that's the Gauranga Nagaris. Yeah, that's a upper sampradaya. What did they do? They saw themselves as helpers in nourishing the Lord's feelings of separation. In searching after Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would fall into the ocean or wander around Puri in the dead of night. And when the Lord momentarily saw or felt Krishna, he very quickly lost that darshan, only to be plunged into even deeper feelings of separation, in which he relished even wilder ecstasies than before. In a bewildered state, he would hold Swarup Damodar by the neck and cry, quote, "Where is Krishna? Please show him to me," unquote. That is the perfection sadhakas are meant to emulate, but not imitate. Okay. Lord Chaitanya taught us to feel separation. From whatever stage of sadhana we can experience a distance between us and Krishna, from that stage we shall try to feel separation from him. So that's our sadhana, yeah? That's his bhava seva. This is the mood we have to develop. We have to work on developing this mood. Yeah. And from whatever state of sadhana we can experience a distance between us and bhava bhakti, from that stage we should try to feel separation from perfection. Then we should incorporate those feelings, that bhava seva, into our sadhana and our life. Yeah, just out of interest, the next chapter, so Marge seems to be speaking about it now, but the next chapter is specifically entitled Cultivating Vipralambha. There's a whole chapter dedicated to that. So Maharaj, it seems he's explaining some aspects of it here. Then we should incorporate those feelings, that bhava seva, into our sadhana and our life. A sadhaka must make the sankalpa to adopt such a mood of service. And as he progresses through the stages of bhakti, the mood of vipralambha should be the ever brighter beacon that illumines his determinations. Indeed, the measure of spiritual advancement is how we can feel separation. The more we feel separation, the more we are advancing. All right. So, in other words, the more you feel separation, then the more you'll cry for him. Then the more you will want him, the more you will desire him. Yeah, if you're feeling separation, then you will be desiring contact with Krishna. Yeah, so Krishna will be obliged to reciprocate because of your ardent desire.
Yeah, and I was just thinking Krishna's reciprocation is usually like not the kind of reciprocation that you might expect. Like as soon as you think you're getting a breakthrough and you're chanting, Krishna somehow raises the bar another bit. So you're constantly got new challenges all the time. So I think this is how Krishna is making us feel separation, because as soon as we feel like we're getting somewhere, we have a sense of achievement or something, and Krishna like immediately pulls the rug out from under your feet and gives you another challenge, which is like probably more than the previous challenge. So you're like, oh my God, there is no end to it.
Yeah. He
Very
says,
good.
not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet.
Yeah. So I think, Mavalavanga's highlighting a very good point there, that Krishna's training us as well, and Krishna's dealing with us in such a way that he's increasing our desire for him. The same as he did with the gopis, isn't it? When he decided that's his way. That's his way, yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure we experience that sometimes as soon as we give some credit to some type of spiritual attainment, then it's like next day or a couple of days later, we're back to square one again. Yeah, Krishna he doesn't like his devotees to become proud as well. So therefore he will give us reasons to reflect upon our disqualification.
And
But
also
again, as I
maybe
mentioned before, we can invest this mood into our chanting. If we're feeling like Krishna's step back, we can use that and adopt that mood, chant in that mood of wanting Krishna to step forward. Please, Krishna, don't step back, step forward, show yourself. So we can invest that into our japa. And as Mahalalawanga is also nicely highlighted, it's like this is spiritual life, you know, this inward, this inner desire for perfection. It's daily, you know, and as we advance, it should be getting deeper and deeper, you know. But yeah, we can't just sit back.
so always more,
Dynamic.
more.
Yeah, more. The name for that, and then you can understand from this. Then I guess this links to greed, isn't it? Lobha, which is so much.
Yeah.
You can't really feel greed unless you're feeling separation.
Yeah. When you don't feel satisfaction, only you will ask more.
Yeah, more.
Yeah.
Right, I just finished this little section, and then Chandravalima, you can take over. Then you're going to hear about.
Nice you reading, because nobody's got to book, and the way you're reading is much
Okay,
nicer.
all right, I'll stop and comment and then.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Okay, an intelligent sadhaka will conclude that the process of seeing Krishna is actually through learning to cry after him in a way that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cried. Such a wise devotee will learn to feel, okay? Will learn to feel how time without Krishna is the creator's form of punishment. And he will learn to be satisfied with nothing and no one save Krishna. That is the path of perfection, the Siddha Pranali. Okay, so Maharaj was mentioned Siddha Pranali, and that's our path of perfection. We conclude this review of the Shishastaka verse with a beautiful quote from Srila Prabhupada spoken on the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. Quote, this process of devotional service is taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not that very easily we have seen Krishna or seen Radharani in Raslila. No, not like that. Feel the separation. The more you feel separation from Krishna, you should understand that you are advancing. Don't try to see Krishna artificially. Be advanced in separation, feeling, and then it will be perfect. That is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And we had that, we had that discussion amongst ourselves? Was it another? No, it was another. Learning to not acted in such a way that Krishna will see us.
We've spoken about that, yeah.
Yeah. This is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Don't try to see Krishna. You cannot see Krishna with your material eyes. Neither can you hear about him with your material ears. Neither you can touch. But if you engage your tongue in the service of the Lord by chanting Hare Krishna and taking prasadam, then he will reveal himself to you. Here I am. That is wanted. So feel separation of Krishna just like Radharani, as Lord Chaitanya teaches us, and engage your tongue in the service of the Lord. Then one day, when you are mature, you'll see Krishna eye to eye. Okay. Unquote. Let us now scrutinize the verse. Yeah, I'm thinking you will see Krishna eye to eye and become completely maddened in great appreciation and overwhelmed in ecstasy of meeting. Then Krishna will then disappear again. And then from that point on, you'll be really intensely meditating, upon Krishna in separation. Let us now scrutinize the verse in Shat Goswami Ashtaka that Srila Prabhupada was so fond of quoting. I think we know what verse is coming, isn't it? Oh, Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani, or Lalita, oh, where are you all? No. Okay, the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have preserved in all their perfection, have been preserved in all their perfection by his devotee followers. From the six Goswamis to Srila Prabhupada, the sadhana and sadhya, so sadhya means perfection. So for a particular type of perfection, you need a particular type of sadhana, okay? The sadhana and sadhya that Lord Chaitanya brought from Goloka has been passed down through parampara. Unfortunately, deviations from Gauranga's Siddhapanali abound even today. Such is the expected influence of Kali. Integral to both practice and perfection is their corresponding mood, the mood of separation. Srinivasacharya narrated how he witnessed Goswamis of Vrindavan, eternally liberated souls, express and taste their perfection in devotion. All right, so now Maharaj quotes the verse. I'll just read the translation. I, for my respectful obeisance unto the six Goswamis who were chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, shouting, Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan, or are you under the trees on the bank of the Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. Unquote. Like the Shastaka verse, the first-hand testimony of Srinivasacharya paints a lucid picture of the bhajan practiced by the founders of the Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, the six Goswamis. Their example for succeeding generations was to cultivate feelings of separation that made one literally mad after Krishna. Obviously, the extreme display of separation shown by the Goswamis is the perfectional stage. Yet bhajan means to gradually learn this process, which may begin by appreciating Krishna's all-pervasiveness with one's intelligence, like the Bhagavad Gita, Vasahamam Sukantaya, Papashmisasurayaha. Yeah, Krishna is the taste of water, he's the light of the moon. So to observe the world in such a way that it's a udipan, it's a reminder, reminds us of Krishna. Yeah. That kind of meditation establishes a dynamic wherein a devotee recognizes that Krishna is present everywhere, while at the same time hidden from view. It is an intellectual tension that awakens an eagerness to see Krishna. All right. So it's a sadhana. It means it's not a spontaneous thing. Okay, we understand that we're being told that we should learn to see Krishna within the world. Oh, so because we heard it from Sastra, then we put it into practice. We can use our intellect to do it. That's called Vaidhi. But that's good, because that will awaken a real eagerness to see Krishna. Yeah? Okay, any questions or comments about that? So and cultivating that eagerness nurtures nascent, how do you pronounce it? Nascent.
It's nascent.
Nascent, yeah, thank you. That nurtures nascent feelings of separation.
N-S-C-E-N-T.
Nascent. The books composed by the Goswamis and their followers are the inspiration for a sadhaka. Okay? So, with permissions of your spiritual masters or your seniors, you should read the books of Goswamis. Yeah, they're all about their prayers, all about feeling separation. The inspiration for a sadhaka. By reading them, the tat-bhava effect further awakens the desire for vipralambha and gradually nurtures it. All the songs we sing are basically in the mood of separation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs. Yeah. So tat-bhava, it means just like you know, when you hear a mundane, you may be, perhaps none of you now, but perhaps when you hear songs, it invokes a certain emotion. Yeah, even mundane songs, it may invoke a memory or a certain emotion. So it's the same, but in a spiritual way, that we hear the songs or the prayers by the Goswamis, and that will awaken, that will have an effect on us. We can tune in to some degree and appreciate these feelings of separation. Yeah. So it's good for us to sing the songs of the Acharyas and Goswamis. Okay. By reading them, the Tat-bhava effect further awakens the desire for vipralambha and gradually nurtures it. This is the understanding of Nortam Das Thakur's plea. Rupa Ragana Pade Hoibi Akuti. When shall I become very eager to study the books left by the 6 Goswamis? Once feelings of separation become an integral aspect of a devotee's sadhana, then bhava, seva, and nam sankirtan nourish each other, as Srila Prabhupada says. Okay, so the mood which accompanies nam sankirtan, they nourish each other. A quote from Prabhupada. Bhajan means how to become mad after Krishna. Okay, unquote. Success in bhajan frees a devotee of material inebrities and inspires him to follow the simple life of dedication set by the Goswamis. Yeah. So these are spiritual desires that we are cultivating, which ultimately is a spiritual desire to actually be with Krishna. Yeah. So, and any comments or questions, please feel free to add or ask. Okay. Rising through the stages of Nam Smaran, the practitioner can search after Radha and Krishna, meaning search after them within his heart. When that sadhana is mature and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased by the effort, okay, when he's pleased by the effort, which means you've got to make effort, that he's pleased. He will reveal himself. It cannot happen otherwise. Readers may wonder how feelings of separation actually develop the quality of a practitioner's bhajan, what to speak of enriching the love of a siddha. The answer is twofold. One part of the answer is marginal characteristic lies in the basic psychology of separation, which is that when a person hankers after something of value, he becomes all the more eager for it. The converse of this is that when a person finally acquires that valued object, he becomes accustomed to it. Applied to Krishna consciousness, this means that when a devotee values Krishna and is unable to see him, the devotee becomes all the more eager. In other words, vipralambha increases the desire to meet Krishna, as I mentioned, yeah? The lobha, the greed to see Krishna.
Prabhu, can I
Yes,
quickly ask something?
Yes.
Prabhu, so this life, can we say we can perfect our lives with this mode, vipralambha?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the path we're on, and this is the mood. Yeah. And already you've begun that already. You just expressed that. We're experiencing our spiritual practice. Sometimes we're feeling a deep connection with Krishna, and sometimes we're not. So you just continue the same.
So
But
all
here
the time.
but here we're hearing some nice guidance on this, specifically in this aspect of our sadhana. So hearing this will very much help us. Maharaj is explaining the dynamics of this cultivation of vipralambha, you know?
Mm.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Something else?
Prabhu. Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. The obvious stipulation is that a sadhaka values Krishna. Such appreciation comes from a thorough knowledge of relationships. So that's sambandha gyan. A devotee must have firm faith that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, while he is but an insignificant servant whose life is meaningless without attaining eternal service to Krishna. Yeah, our life has no meaning unless we attain service to Krishna. One who has such firm faith will value Krishna, others will not. In the absence of such conviction, sadhana remains mechanical, and a devotee's attachment remains rooted in family, home, and mundane pursuits. Okay? Let's read that again. In the absence of such conviction, sadhana remains mechanical, and a devotee's attachments remain rooted in family, home, and mundane pursuits. The other part of the answer, the primary characteristic, is that vipralambha is an inherent quality of prema. Love for Krishna remains fresh and is enhanced by eternal pastimes of meeting and separation. So whenever vipralambha is cultivated, their prema grows. Okay? Krishna gives a poignant explanation of this dynamic to the gopis after they accused him of ingratitude for disappearing in the middle of loving exchanges with them. He said, this is a nice verse. I learned this verse, but I also forgot this verse. I would like to re-memorize it. All right. Quote, I just quote the translation. But the reason I do not immediately reciprocate the affection of the living beings, even when they worship me, okay? He does not immediately reciprocate, even when they worship me. O gopis, is that I want to intensify their loving devotion. They then become like a poor man who has gained some wealth and then lost it, and who has thus become so anxious about it, he can think of nothing else. All right. So the poor man has never had wealth. Suddenly he gets wealth. Then he loses it again. Always thinking. Yeah. Unquote.
We heard that in a class today.
Today, yeah? Okay.
Somebody's class from Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Krishna keeps devotees in anxiety. Okay. Okay, is that okay with everyone?
Yes, yes.
Krishna keeps devotees in anxiety in order to increase their desire and affection for him. This means that vipralambha cultivates prema. Okay, a reader's immediate response may be, quote, that is understandable in Krishna's relationship with the gopis or with other siddhas, but what about the regular sadhaka? We reply, quote, Krishna's words are quite specific. He was not addressing the gopis directly, but anyone who worships him. Yeah, he said, those who worship me. Therefore, he uses the word jantam with living beings, regular sadhakas included. Still, the reader may not be satisfied. Quote, but what about Krishna's use of the word anuvritti, meaning the propensity for pure love? Where is the propensity for such pure love in a sadhaka? We answer, that propensity is there in every living thing. Unquote. Yeah, I mean, I won't go into it, but there's a discussion, goes back a few months now. There's one Gaudiya sannyasi who did a podcast with one ISKCON devotee, and he was positing the position that there is no, love of Krishna is not, our relationship with Krishna is just not there. It is not dormant. Okay? But let's put that aside. It's completely wrong, bogus. The propensity is there. Yeah. The propensity to love is there in every living entity because it is part of his constitutional makeup, Sat Chit Ananda. The combination of the Chit and ananda potencies result in prema. Okay, so chit is knowledge, okay, and ananda is bliss. Have we got that right? Yeah. So service and separation is the mixing agent of these two energies. And then Maharaj posits another question here. But if separation results in prema, then that prema should be visible in a devotee's sadhana. Is it? All right. Question. So we answered this question by first paraphrasing the teachings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The Acharya offers a practical example which follows Vishwanath Chakravarti's quantitative evaluation of the degree of prema present in the stages of devotion from faith to love. Yes, so prema is there. It's different. Yeah, prema is there even in the beginning stages, an aspect of prema. So that's it. Ecstatic devotion bhava is also referred to by acharyas and sastra as rati. The two terms are each a synonym of the other. Rati is the smallest divisible portion of prema, yeah, bhava, beyond which further integral division is not possible. In a way that the number 100 is made up of many indivisible units, so prema is made up of indivisible parts called rati. And rati is the love present in bhava. All right. Didn't quite grasp that. It might be explained more here. The primary stage of prema systematically thickens step by step to Mahabhav, which can be compared to a number like 1 billion or 1 trillion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Rupa Goswami about the development of prema. Quote, the basic aspects of prema when gradually increasing to different states. So this is, prema has different levels as well, okay? There's the overall term prema, but also prema itself has different. It doesn't give the, oh, it is, yeah. The basic aspects of prema when gradually increasing to different states are affection, that's shneha, okay? Abhorrence or man, pranaya, that's what I mentioned, that's the stage that was mentioned about the gopis, you know? That's called love, raga, attachment, anuraga, further attachment, bhava, ecstasy. So that's not the bhava that comes prior to prema. Within prema, there's a stage which is called bhava. Yeah? So bhava is used in a lot of contexts. So bhava is also mentioned as describing a ray of prema, but within prema itself, it signifies a specific level of prema. And mahabhav, great ecstasy. Yeah. Similarly, rati is manifest, not divided to different degrees in the stages of sadhana. All right. So this bhava, this love, is divided, is there in the stage of sadhana, ranging from shraddha to a shakti. So the whole stage is the stage of development of love. And although, okay, let's see how far we've got to read. Okay. And although love at these stages manifests only a fragment of the power of rati, it is spiritual love nevertheless. This is how prema is present in sadhana. Okay, so some encouragement, yeah. Prema is there in what we have now in our specific practice of sadhana. And because love is present in sadhana, it responds to the emotion invoked by the awareness of being separated from Krishna. The more a devotee feels separation from Krishna, the more love in sadhana grows, and the more the sadhaka is freed of inauspicious things. This applies to both regulated and spontaneous devotees. Narada is an example of a regulated devotee for whom separation from Krishna removed impurities and matured love. Okay, I just sort of finish this section here because we come up 4 asterisks. It would be a good place to stop. So it might go over 1 minute or 2. As a final point on how vipralambha can act on a sadhaka, readers may remember that separation and meeting are eternal conditions in which pastimes of love are manifest. This means that prema and vipralambha are eternally connected. Service in separation is like the incline of the river of love, drawing all its water downstream to the ocean of Krsna. Where vipralambha is cultivated, there prema flows. As you know, Govinda Maharaj, there's that book called The Embankment of Separation. Yeah, so vipralambha is one bank, Sambolga is another bank, and the river is prema, flowing in between. Okay. An inevitable question that relates to Krishna's reply to the gopis is, right, question, if Krishna does not reciprocate with his devotees' service and sadhana, will practitioners not become discouraged? Okay. In his commentary to the verse beginning, Naham to Sakyo, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives this enchantingly conclusive answer. He quotes Krishna's explanation to the gopis. So we'll just quote that and we'll finish there. Okay, this is from Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. For those surrendered souls who worship me through Nam Sankirtan and other means, I do not respond in order to make their worship more perfect. Not seeing me, those surrendered souls develop deep humility, thinking, alas, everything I have done has been useless. Because I am an offender, Krishna has not shown me the slightest favor. By constantly meditating in this way, devotees who have not yet developed love for me become free of lust and anger. And in time, their hearts awaken to pure devotion, full of power and brilliance. This is the perfect answer from the all-knowing physician with a remedy for every ailment. Okay? Hari Om, that's it.
Don't we
Okay.
always, we just can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll stop there. And I do these little videos. That's how I do it in my recreation. I've made a little video on separation. I'm going to upload that and I can send it. You can watch it. It's only 4 or 5 minutes.
You sent one, you put one on YouTube. What was it recently?
Oh, that was just a redoing of one which I did about a year ago, because that was that was a redoing of one. I wasn't very happy with it, so I just redid it. I did the text, but this is another one. So anyway.
Oh, can you, one more thing, can you send blessings to Jambavati? It's her appearance day from Mayapur.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna. Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mother. Is she here? I don't think she's here.
Probably.
Yes, she's here.
Yeah.
Okay, she's here. Hare Krishna. All glories to you, Mother, on your appearance day. Lord of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, my blessed.
Okay. Yeah, I shall. This video, which I upload, it can be a birthday present for you. You can watch it.
Correct. Send it to
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Please,
And,
thank you. Thank you so much,
let's
Mandy.
get together. Bhagavad Gita tomorrow. Is it?
Yeah.
No, Wednesday. Sorry.
And this Thursday, I'm cooking, so one